Welcome back to Nostalgia Toys. I have been wanting to get back to this for a while and kind of revisit some of my videos that got a little rushed, or my camera would die in the middle of a video. That is a camera I probably will never use again. It was used for wrestling shows and stuff like that, so it was very rough, and I was grateful for what I had. Using my phone, obviously, is a little bit brighter and better. I'm still having to wait a little bit longer for the camera battery for the new camera, which is totally fine. I'm totally cool with it. So, this is going to be revisiting the dolls with the same faces, or dolls with the same face mold. I don't know what the case is. Sometimes the companies will sell the mold. If you don't know what a mold is basically the casting in order to, like, make the doll uniform, pretty much. And it's used on everything. Anything you could think of is pretty much molded. If it all looks the same, if it's all symmetrical, odds are it's molded. So these are basically dolls with the same exact face molds or very similar, but most of them are the same face molds. But there will be dolls that kind of look like they're also from the same genre, but they're not. I figured I would do that anyway and make a disclaimer on that. I probably gonna start out with Cherry Mary Muffin since I already have Ghost of the Doll up. Yes, I'd rather come prepared this time than last time, so let's go ahead and get into it. I don't actually have Cherry Mary Muffin herself, but I do have 3 of her friends. I think it's Lana Banana Bread, or one of the Banana Bread girl. I actually got this off an Instagram sale. I need to work on her a little bit, but I'm not worried about that right now. I've got her. I've got the Peppermint Girl. This was a gift. And then I've got the Cookies and Cream Girl and Chocolatey Stress. I know that for sure. So this is basically an honorable mention like I did in the last video that got cut off so fast. So this is like a blown up version of the Cherry Mary Muffin face. As you can tell, it's pretty much identical. This is, I'm not sure if the dollar store sold this, or it says TNT, and I usually do not like looking at the back of a doll's head to look at a date or a name, for the fact that people don't seem to understand this when they're selling Barbies on eBay, that just because a Barbie body says 1977, it could have came out in like 1994 or even 1992. It's just a general body mold that they use throughout. It's kind of like saying a modern Barbie right now may have a body from, say, 2001 when they started getting the hips. So they have the same pretty much face mold. I would say the nose is slightly different on this, but the general like mouth and everything is like exactly alike. If you hear the boys being really loud in there, they're gaming, and Will's stream room is right next to my toy room, so I'm sorry for that. But this is just the general idea. I just really wanted to touch on this a little bit more, because it was about 1.5 years ago since I did that video, and I feel like, you know, it was a little rushed, especially because I was sick, and the camera shut off, and, like, once everything shuts off, it's like, eh. Okay, so these dolls do not have the same face mold, but usually when you pick them up in the store, they have generally the same style, which is explainable because they're kind of the same company. I believe these are a Kenner. Don't hate me if I don't know. I believe they're Kenner. These are shimmers. I have a mermaid up there and another centaur up there, but I do not want to pull them down. I have all my toys, like the smaller toys, like up close to each other, so they're beautiful on display and stuff like that. I got this one for this is the most expensive I've actually spent on a shimmer doll. I spent $9 on her. She's in great condition, though. It may be a little brushing, but that's only because of when I moved. I kind of just wanted to throw things up on the shelves. But she's beautiful. And a doll that she's kind of kin to, of sorts, is the Seaweed. These started in the late 70s and worked their way through, I believe, 84. This was from 83, but this also probably was through 84. I don't like to look at the molds again, but this one was the 90s. This is the 80s. They're very, very similar in the way that they're made, and the mermaids are very close to this, but way longer tails. And the fact that they also had like little babies and stuff like that. So that's why they're kind of similar in a way. They don't have the same face molds, but they are the same kind of sister company. The next one would definitely be Rose Petal Place. It's funny because I told myself in the video I still hadn't washed her, and when I rewatched the video, I'm like, oh, I never went back to her. I actually have a second of that one, and that one is in way worse condition. So that's the more recent one's in way worse condition. But I'm still grateful to have her. Even though she looks like her eyebrows are not intact, they are in fact intact. They're just really, really small. So I have her, and I have the Daffodil Girl, and I've had her for a very long time. And when I did the video, I only had her for about 3 months, and I've had her for about 2 years, and no matter what you do, her top just wants to fall down. So there's not much I could do about that. But these dolls were produced in 84, 85, and I would love to get way more of these. Honestly, I would love to get more Cherry Mary Muffins and more Seawees and more Shimmers. It's just really hard to come across them, really. Even thrifting, it's like a pain in the butt, and like when I thrifted, I got extra rose petals. So maybe I can trade some duplicates for some. I don't know. We'll find out. But basically, these came out in the mid-80s, and then I guess the company got kind of, back burner, whatever, canceled. Things happen, and it sucks. There's a lot of old toy designers on Instagram, and you find out these stories about these prototype beautiful pieces that never got made, and it's very sad and very tragic. And sometimes those happen to use the same molds or maybe even new molds, but the company that made these, I think it was Mattel. Was it Mattel? Don't hold me to it, I'm sorry. So, these dolls right here, yeah, Rose Petal Place, right? She is not in her swimsuit. She's in a, oh crap, I forgot what the name is. I'm so good at doll stuff until I turn the camera on. But she's wearing a modern outfit. This is a Bubble Belle, and I showed you her in the video last time. I was gifted her by my friend who thought she was a Rose Petal Place doll a while back. And I'm honestly glad she's not, because she's way more unique that way. I recurled her hair, but her curls look like squares, which I kind of like too. So, yeah, this is a Bubble Belle, and then they have shiny legs. They have the exact same body molds too. But instead of coloring their shoes, they just left it pearlized like the legs. And they are amazing. Like, you almost wouldn't tell that she's a different, like decade later almost. Well, I wouldn't say complete decade later. Okay, these were 84, 85, and she came out in like 1990, 1991. But they're really cool, and I would love to find more Bubble Belles as well. They're very hard to get a hold of, and I cannot imagine finding their floaties out in the wild, because they used to come with like blow-up floaties, from what I've heard. If you want to hear more about those, go to Too Old for Toys. That's how I discovered them, and I love their channel so much. They need to go back to doing Throwback Thursday videos with their retro toys, because I love it to death. So, the next doll is obviously right next to her. This was kind of my highlight toy in the last video that I did of this. This is a Sweet Treats doll, and she is cotton candy themed. I bought her for like $3 on a eBay page, thinking that she was her, but obviously she didn't have batteries and she didn't have a wand, and mind you, I was 6 years old when I got this one for Christmas, so I just assumed this one was this. I wanted to repurchase it about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago, really badly, but I settled for her because she was $3. And actually, I said before that she did not smell like cotton candy, but I think I lied, because she really totally smells like cotton candy, and she's from 1984? Something like that. She's from the 80s. These were produced about exactly a decade. I believe this is 87 that this came out. I've seen them on eBay in the box. I think these are affordable. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked them up. It's usually these in the box that are high dollar, and she was in the box. But this is a Sweet Treats doll. This is the cotton candy one. And this is my beautiful baby. This is a Dreamy Sweets doll. My mom got me this for my birthday about 2 years ago. She's got a nick on her cheek. She was in the box, but she was in a hoarder's house, and the box is crushed. I still have the box, and I have the book that she comes with, and her little comb, but I'm just not gonna deal with all that. She's got these awesome little shoes, and her wand still lights up. Even, like, those are still the original batteries, I believe, that were in her, and I was so shocked that she still works after all this time. And she is amazing. I would love to get way more of these Dreamy Sweets dolls. This is exactly the one I had when I was 6. I got this for Christmas. I also got one of those large, my size Rapunzel Barbies. And I think it was the Sleepy Time Aurora or whatever. It was really pretty. But this came out in 1997. I always forget which company it was because it was a smaller company. But thinking that the company that made Sweet Treats sold the mold rights to make the Dreamy Sweets doll. Now, there are some times where you feel like, hey, that doesn't look right, but it's because she's kind of got larger lips, like they're a little bit more droopy. She's got way bigger lashes. It's a whole different face, like, I think stamp would be the word for it. For a while there, I didn't know how they were painting these dolls, but I figured it out over time. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Lady Lovely Locks, as you see here. Okay, so this is a fun fact. I've mentioned this in another video. This Lady Lovely Locks has beautifully shiny hair, like as if she was just taken out from the box. She also came from the hoarder's house. Her dress was a wreck, but this is a newer dress that I got at an antique mall. And I traded for the Pixie Tails on, I think, Facebook groups, and bought from Instagram too. So Rose Petal Place. Yeah, that's gonna be the blooper. Peppermint Rose, who you see down there, shares the same face mold with Lady Lovely Locks, as you can see. It may take a second to adjust your eyes to this. I noticed this after about maybe a month or so, because I never knew Peppermint Rose dolls existed. And I've tried my best to curl her hair. I've tried twice. She likes to fight. Or at least the saran or whatever that is made of likes to fight it. And it doesn't want to stay shiny at all either. So they share the same face mold. But, fun fact, they're obviously major size differences. Same head. Same very large head, but share the same body. Can you guess already what body Peppermint Rose has? It's a skipper body. It's one of the anime style faced skippers from the 80s and early 90s, which I'm totally fine with. I love that body style and size. And Miss Lady Lovely Locks here has one of Barbie's other sisters. The youngest, well, not the youngest sister, but the younger sister to Stacy. Or, really, I did it again. This is a skipper body. This is actually a Stacy body, is what I'm trying to say. So, if you have Lady Lovely Locks dolls with spotting issues, which I have a couple of them, try to see if you can thrift a Stacy doll or find one on eBay, preferably with lighter skin to match. But that should be the, like, just switch it out. Like, for real, like, there's no issue with it. So I thought you guys might like that. And the same thing, if you find a Peppermint Rose doll that's either headless or in bad condition, and you need to swap things out, just find a skipper body, and you're good to go. But those are, like, the coolest molds. And this is going to be the honorable mention. In this one, I'm just going to grab one. I have a huge Strawberry Shortcake Shrine over here. And I forgot what these are called. These Sweet Scents dolls. They kind of look like the 90s Strawberry Shortcake. So here is Angel Cake. She's incomplete because she doesn't have shoes and stuff. But here's an Angel Cake Strawberry Shortcake. The other Strawberry Shortcake needs to be cleaned. And there's a Sweet Scents doll. She looks more like the 90s Strawberry Shortcake. But they're about roughly the same size. Almost the same body. Some people do come across these Sweet Scent dolls and just instantly think, oh my god, I found a Strawberry Shortcake doll. No. I wish I could have told you that, but no. It sucks. It can happen at any time, but you know, you gotta learn and stuff like that. I think my next video will be something else on this range, but kind of gotta wait a little while on that. Hope you guys enjoy this, and it's way longer than it was the first time. But that's also because I have the Peppermint Rose doll. I did not have her before. And I bought her from a dear friend back in the summer, so I was very happy for her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until next time, I'm Kristen from Nostalgia Toys. Bye!